How's it going, fellas? Today I have a story time for you about the time in 5th grade when basically all the moms came together and tried to basically ban video games. Yeah. Don't forget to leave a like in the video to claim your free nothing, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let's just jump right into it. So basically, in 5th grade, before that, we didn't really have any access to any video games because, parents kind of want to keep that away from their kids for a while. Maybe, you'd have access to the occasional, I don't know, the iPhone, Plants vs. Zombies game, which, bro, that still slaps. I remember I downloaded it like a couple months ago because I had like a road trip or something. Because I remember playing that in 5th grade and it was like a good game. And the first one, PVZ1, and I re-downloaded it. And bro, I was actually having a really good time. Anyway, so 5th grade was kind of the time that, most of the people in my class that were going to play video games started because their parents kind of let them do it a little bit. It was obviously very monitored. You had like kind of restrictions on it. It was mostly guys who did it. There was a couple girls who downloaded some games, but it was mostly the fellas. And basically, we all had different game choices, but basically the one that I was maining a lot was it happened to be both Minecraft PE. No, I don't think it was Minecraft PE. It was the Minecraft Free, the free like Minecraft Lite. There was actually a free version for Minecraft, if any of you OGs remember that. And it was also Lego Star Wars on the Wii. So for me, it was basically I had an iPad mini and I had a Wii at the time. No iPhone, no computer, no nothing like that. But, I got Lego Star Wars, the original trilogy. Side note again, Lego Star Wars, the original trilogy was probably one of the greatest games ever, made. Not even just for the Wii, but just in general. I remember I was watching a video from Cyrus recently, and he had some Lego Star Wars gameplay in the background, and I was like, damn, bro, I'm not even gonna watch that. I'm gonna have to watch the video twice. First for the gameplay, and second for the actual video. Anyways, I think a lot of you guys remember your first experiences with video games. Like, it's just really cool. It's like a whole different world. Everything is exciting. It's like real life, but everything is meant to be fun and like quest based, so you always feel like you're achieving something. And your first time, if you're not really careful, you can really get sucked into it. You can really just be thinking about it all day. So basically, me and my fellow classmates, like we all kind of were given the experience with video games like for the same time, not like on the same day or anything, but basically like after one kid was allowed on, he'd ask his parents, and then eventually they'd all kind of like give in, right? So even though the parents would be like setting like limits, like we can only play for 30 minutes or an hour per day, the thing was, like, teachers were starting to realize that, like, during our free periods and even during class a little bit, the only thing we'd talk to each other were about these games. We'd go back home. We kind of do our homework. I'm going to be honest, bro. We didn't do the greatest job because we wanted to get on the games as soon as possible because it's like you go to school with all your friends. This is 5th grade. It's a good time. You're talking about what you're going to be doing in the game tonight. You're super excited. You get back home and your parents are like, all right, you got to do your homework first. Bro, I don't know how well I'm going to be doing my homework. I'm going to keep it a buck. I don't know if I'm going to be, finessing that. Like, I'm not going to be getting the 100%. I'm not going to be getting those 100% on the homework because I have levels to complete. I have canisters to find. If you played Lego Star Wars, you'd get that. You're one of the good ones. So I think eventually one of the teachers mentioned something to one of the parents about it, just about how we were talking about it, and also like how there's kind of a bit of a dip in grades with some of the guys. And eventually, when one of the moms heard that, she kind of started to talk to another mom about it. And it just happened to be that this other mom also just started to let her son also play video games. And they were kind of comparing notes, bro. It's like they both had two spreadsheets out. They're looking at it. They're like, So it looks like that we have reports that both of these kids are talking about video games 24/7 in school. They're not really paying attention. Their grades are down. And also, we just allowed them to start playing games. So all of a sudden, they're like, I think there's a correlation here. But instead of stopping there, they kind of reach out to other parents. And while some parents couldn't relate because, their kids weren't playing games or they were playing it very, very infrequently, there was like a group of like, I would say 5 or so, maybe 6 parents that kind of got together. They kind of spoke to each other and all realized they were all having the same thing happen. So basically one day, we're in class, we're going through a regular routine. I'm in school, right? Because I'm one of these kids, bro. Like, I wasn't the worst offender. I wasn't the worst out of the group, don't get me wrong. But, I was slacking a little bit in my homework. I was playing a few of the games. I was having a good time. So, right, I get into school, everything's normal, everything's good. I'm talking with my friends. I'm talking about like that really difficult level in Lego Star Wars, the one like the pod racing one. I still think to this day I've never, never beaten it. I haven't played on a Wii in legitimately like 6 years. I really want to get back on one day. But anyways, unrelated to the story. So, we're having a normal day in class. And, we get our homework, we're rushing back home, and then, personally me, I get back and I'm like, I'm doing my homework, and I'm like going to play the game, and I see the game isn't there. Like it's like the Wii remote is gone. The Wii isn't plugged out, of course. I'm like, huh. So I go to my iPad, and it's not where it normally is, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm not very smart, and I probably left it somewhere, because I definitely have a history of just forgetting stuff really easily. I would lose stuff all the time. So I go and I ask my mom, and I'm like, do you happen to know where my stuff is? So she responds to me with something along the lines of, I think we should take a little break from that. And while I wasn't like super happy, I was like, okay, it's just one day, right? It shouldn't be an issue. So I get into school, and everyone's looking a little grumpy, and I'm like, okay, is something happening I don't know? And then we're just kind of talking with each other, because normally we talked about games at this point. And then one person was like, I wasn't able to play games last night because like I'm supposed to be taking a break or something. And then another kid chimes in, hey, me too. And then all of a sudden we all realize that this is like a coordinated effort. So we're speaking kind of loudly when we're talking about this, and one of the teachers hears this and kind of like she remembers it and then goes back to teaching. And then basically we had recess for a very long time at my school, so we were going off to recess basically. And kind of like my friend group happened to be, the other people that were playing the games. And basically she said, hey, and then she kind of pointed to us and named a few of us and said the others, right? Can you just stick behind for a second? And I was a little scared, bro. Like, I never like to get in trouble, but I was like, oh man, what's up? And she was basically like, hey, I overheard you guys talking about like not being able to play games when you got back. And she's like, basically, I saw a kind of a decline in your grades and like basically a decline in your effort at work. And I kind of talked to your parents, and they said that you all started playing a lot of games when you got back. So you guys probably won't be playing games for a sec. And we're just kind of all like, okay, because what are we gonna do, bro? We're in 5th grade. So basically, the story ends with we kind of just can't play games for the next 3 weeks. And eventually, some of us get some access back. But at this point, bro, like, we're kind of out of sync. We're all getting back to the games at different rates. Like, some of us got back to it in a week. I personally got it back in, like, closer to a week, because I was never, like, playing too much, right? But, like, some people didn't get it back for, like, a month. Like, and then we just kind of, we ended up talking about other things, because we weren't going to be silent for, like, the 3-week wait period for some of the guys. So, eventually, we just kind of ended up talking about other things. And yeah, we eventually did go back to playing games, and later on we did talk about it like in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and continuing on, obviously. But that was just an experience of when, yeah, video games basically just got banned for 3 weeks. And we did find other things to do, but it was definitely kind of a damper, bro, because we were all having such a good time. Just such a good time in my life, and I wanted to share a story. If you guys have a little bit of time and want to help me out, please click on one of the 4 videos/playlists you see on screen right now, or just click on the Storytime playlist to catch up with older videos. Just binge watching my videos or watching another video after this is probably the thing that helps my channel out the most, so I really do appreciate it. Obviously, if you're new, subscribe, turn on notifications, leave a like, and thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.